Okay, so we're here with Rex Wilde, a candidate for mayor of Cheyenne. Rex, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Brian Martin. I'm the managing editor here at the Wyoming Tribune Eagle.
I'm Sharon Fagan with Black Hills Energy.
Bob Fecht, Cheyenne Animal Shelter.
Again, Rex, welcome, and thanks for being here.
Thank
Start
you
out
for
with
having me.
that. What specific issues or concerns have you running for mayor this year?
Well, there's there's a lot of things. The reason, first and foremost, I'm running for mayor is this is my third time to run for public office. Okay, and in 2010, I ran for governor for the Democratic Party. Lost, but I won 2 counties, Uinta and Crook, both ends of the state, and beat everybody, which was nice. 2014, I ran for the United States Senate against Charles Hardy, the preacher. This time I came in second place and felt pretty good about that. I didn't take a cent from anybody. Mr. Hardy took $59,000 and came in first place and went on to the general election. And for me, being a working man, to run a state campaign is very difficult, and it costs a lot of money. Okay, this mayorship race here is in Cheyenne. I've been here 31 years of my life. I know a lot of people, and I can walk this town. This is going to be a fun campaign. It's going to be a wonderful campaign. It's the first time I've had a campaign headquarters. That's at 1622 East 19th. And I want to thank Brian Gogorchak for letting me have that as a campaign headquarters. I will have a website next week up and running. I will have Facebook too. These are things I have not had in the past. And there's a lot of issues going on here, but I'm running for mayor. I would love to serve this community, and I was a veteran, joined the Army, and they sent me to Northern Italy. Was a paratrooper in the 509th Battalion Combat Team, and was there for 3 years. Got to go all over Europe, loved it. Then my last year, I came back to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, with the 82nd Airborne, and served 4 years, got an honorable discharge. And in my 4 years, I had 58 parachute jumps. I got lucky. I got to go to Italian jump school, Belgium jump school, and I also got to go to French Commando school. And the last school I got to go to at Fort Bragg, they sent me to Jungle Warfare Training School down in Panama. And after that, I got out, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I'd gotten married, and my dad had retired from the Air Force out here at F.E. Warren. And so Cheyenne, Wyoming, okay. So came here and joined the 1022nd Medical Detachment out here, the National Guard, and was in that for 2 years to finish my 6 years obligation to the military. And then we lived out on Horse Creek Road, and then in 1986, I got an offer to return to Italy in the civilian sector, and I returned and I worked at a winery in northern Italy in the Friuli region. And we sold everything, packed up the family, took the dog, and we moved to northern Italy. And we were there for 3 years, and sold everything, came back to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful experience. Then I got an associate's degree of arts and sciences from LCCC before I went to Italy. And have been here ever since. I'm a cabinet maker. I work at Schroll Cabinets. I have my own company too, Wildwoods of Wyoming. I guess now it's time for you to ask me some questions.
Rex, what qualifications do you bring to the table based on your experience and yourself that you think will help you serve as an effective mayor?
Well, I think I just told you a bunch of those things, right off the get-go. reliable, dependable, responsible, and I just want us to give back to the community and serve the community. And that's where this campaign's going, and hopefully we'll make it to the final part of it.
What do you believe is the biggest challenge facing the city of Cheyenne right now, and then name one or two others?
There's quite a few challenges for this city right now. First, there's this mayor's leaving and leaving the big hole down there to the next person that takes the mayoral job. And on his shift, I hope he doesn't leave the roads in the conditions that they are in now. And, there's some things that the city needs to look at. We're going to put this money into a new terminal out here at the airport. And this airport is stagnant to the economy of Cheyenne. It's not going to grow. It's a new terminal is not going to bring in a bigger carrier. And there are sections, and this is, we have a downtown development authority and a western development authority. And I think it would be feasible to look into having an airport outside of town. 30 years ago, Tom Bowman brought this up and was just shot down. But it's something that this community is going to have to think about, because there are two huge chunks of land out west and south of town, and one's 9,000 acres, the other is 5,000, and that, 90 and 50,000 acres. So I apologize about that. And the thing about it, if an airport was put out there, it would have a chance for a larger carrier to come into town, because it wouldn't just serve Cheyenne, Laramie, and Wheatland. It would also serve the rest of Wyoming, but it would also serve the panhandle of Nebraska. It would serve northern Colorado, Fort Collins, and Greeley. And those people would come here to an airport if there was one. And the other thing is, too, this is a National Guard base. There would be funding from the federal government to help out in that situation. And it's just something to think about, but it's going to have to happen. And the other thing is, once the airport was moved, that would be prime real estate there that could be sold off. And, money's brought in for that and everything. And, it's just something that down the road's going to happen. Another venue, I talked to Hoy Myers the other day, a friend of mine, and he was the last chairman of the Frontier Days out here. And the Frontier Days Park is getting a little crowded. Okay, it's when you get all the people here and everything, it's starting to be where the Cowboys don't have room for all their equipment and vehicles and stuff. And I think down the road, the city's going to have to take a look at possibly moving that out to Archer. That's a facility that was made out there, has plenty of room. And that, I've mentioned this to people, and boy, you get a lot of diehard people, no, we can't move it. And I understand that it's a tradition, and it's something that the city will have to think about. It's not going to be able to stay there forever. He told me too that they think that they've lost this parking space out by the south gate of the base that parks 4,000 people. Rumor has it that land was purchased. So, and it's just one of those things. Another thing that I think, the whole downtown, it just needs to be, it's not a done deal with the Children's Museum yet and stuff. And I just don't think that's a good place for a Children's Museum because of the parking, because of some of the halfway houses, and even the sex offenders that are down in that area. It's already, I think a parking garage would work better for the downtown community, because of when you have your things at the depot, when you have festivals at the depot, and also during Frontier Days. And the basement section's already excavated out. So along those lines, I think something more appropriate than a Children's Museum should be there. Another thing I think that Cheyenne should look at, and I'm very progressive. I'm a progressive thinker. And another thing is, why couldn't we have rail service from Cheyenne to Laramie, and maybe even a little further, do have the tracks here, the Union Pacific's here. And in other countries, freight and passenger cars can be combined. And if a train could leave in the morning and let's say go to Laramie and then come back in the evening, it would help for people going to the university over there, vice versa. And one other thing that I think Cheyenne needs is a recreation center for our youngsters. Any city that doesn't, invest in their children isn't investing in their future. And those are, that's some of the things right there. Just to let you know, I work 10 and 12-hour days right now. We've got this Saturday off, but it looks like every other Saturday I'm going to be working, and Sundays and my evenings are my only time to campaign. And I do have my campaign headquarters, and Bill Poe has allowed me also I'm going to be doing town hall meetings at the AMVETS. I was the commander there 3 years ago. And so I've got venues and things to do along those lines to get the word out and stuff. And but like I say, right now it's I work for Shoal Cabinets, and it's feast or famine, it seems like. And right now it's just hit home. So campaign season and work.
Sounds good. Rex, tell me what supervisory or management experience you have and through your lifetime, and how would it apply to serving as mayor?
Well, I ran the countertop shop and service department at Shoal Cabinets for 22 years. When I was in the Army, I was a specialist and ran a fire team. I was also an RTO, radio operator, and had a secret clearance for all our cryptic notes and everything. In the National Guard, I was in flight operations and would be I would be in charge of linking up with the birds and stuff, and calling at their rendezvous areas, and scheduling, and basically everything with the flight operations in there, and that's pretty well my supervisorial deal. When I was in Italy, when we had the vendemmia, when the grapes came in, we had to pick them. Once the grapes got to their sugar content, they had to be picked, and I would run between 20 to 50 people a day, picking those, and then getting everything, down to the cantina, getting it in the crushers, and then getting it off into the transfer tanks and everything. And the month of September and October, we didn't get very much sleep. It was one of the hardest jobs I ever had in my life.
Rex, how would you work to improve the building development process in Cheyenne?
Well, I'd work with the city council and get involved in as much as I could with it, because I love downtown. I love that Plains Hotel, and seeing the vacant buildings and that is I just enjoy downtown. I like it, and the one thing I don't like though is going down there about between, say, after 8 o'clock and stuff, and seeing these people that are in halfway houses and these transients, because these transients down there they're getting bold. They don't ask for money anymore. They sometimes demand it. And we've got our police. I know they patrol, but I think needs to be a little bit better job done with that. But as far as buildings and that, I have a feeling this economy is going to turn for the worse. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know if you know about Nortrack out here, the Austrian company that builds the rail changers systems and everything. A buddy of mine just got laid off there last week, and they had 150 employees. Now they've got 20 employees now. Okay, he said they're getting the UP is getting their switching sections from China. They build them in China, they ship them over on a boat, they get them to Seattle, put them on rail, ship them here to Cheyenne or wherever for UP, cheaper than they can build them here. And the steel quality is better, which is hard to believe, but it's what he told me.
Rex, you talked about the importance of downtown, if some extra money showed up or was available, where would you put that money? Toward the downtown core or West Edge, or what are your thoughts about how
I would put
downtown
it to the downtown core. I love the downtown core. And I mean, it would depend on the amount of money too, because, there's some other areas in Cheyenne that need to be taken care of. But you know what, as far as right now, having the new library, having the botanical gardens, having our greenway, we have gone in a progressive mode, and things are, this is a beautiful historical city. I like the way the attitudes have been going the last 15 years here. Hope to see that continue. Silencio.
You mentioned the Children's Museum earlier as well. How do you feel about the use of taxpayer money for amenities like the Children's Museum?
I think you got my drift earlier. I just don't think that's the right place for a children's museum. I just don't think it is.
Would you support taxpayer money going to a project like that if it were in a different location?
Possibly.
A sixth penny or partial seventh penny?
Right.
There's been talk about opening up some access to the city-owned Belvoir Ranch, possibly for recreational use. What are your thoughts about that? How big of a priority, and would you spend money on it?
Well, that's where the airport would be, and opening it to recreational would be okay. There was a problem back when that land was bought with contamination. Tetracycline was there, left by the Air Force. And so there might be some concerns about that.
So you're okay with it opening up, but
Well, like I say, first to look into this contamination problem, because that sticks around for quite a few years.
if you're elected mayor, Rex, what would be your budget and savings priorities, and what would be your process for developing the budget for the city?
Well, the first thing is we need to make sure that we keep our first responders taken care of. Okay? That's very important. And then the infrastructure of this city. And probably those both go hand in hand. And developing a budget, the budget would be worked through with the city council, to see where and what our expenditures were and what we could spend, and the money that we could get from the federal government for other certain points, and along that. That's a tough question right there.
What would your priorities be for the next six-penny ballot? It looks like it's going to be up for a vote probably next May. What would you like to see on that next six-penny ballot?
I think for the infrastructure. And the way, like I say, this mayor has to take care of that before he leaves office, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Any other projects or ideas, things you'd like to see the voters consider?
Like I say, the recreation for the children. That's one thing I think this city really needs.
Okay.
So the rec center has failed a couple of times,
I know it has.
and as mayor, how would you address that? How would you get past that so that voters would support it?
Well, I have to talk to them and then put the word out, just like I have to you people right now, that our children are our future. And if you don't invest in our children, you're not investing in your future. And it's something that we need. And I would just have to put my heart into it and talk to the people and see if I could persuade them to do that. I know in the past, I don't know if enough heart was put into it, and but I feel very strongly for this.
Rex, how do you feel about an anti-discrimination ordinance? Is that something that the city council needs to pass?
What do you mean exactly by that?
Laramie has one, for example. It would be to ensure that people are not discriminated against regardless of sexual orientation.
Well, there
race,
should be,
those sort of things.
there should be no, no discrimination against anybody. It's, this is the United States. I know there's discrimination and there probably always will be, but, people are people and people have their values and rights. And, if another person wants to be with another person, that's fine. I mean, it's, and you don't discriminate against other races or genders, if, but as far as putting a law into effect, I think there already is a national law against that and everything. I know there is, so.
So the city wouldn't need to do anything.
I don't think so. It's their city council, the things are a little bit different. I'm old fashioned. I'm getting ready here to turn 60 years on this planet. And, this last deal that they did about passing a law where you can spit on the sidewalk. No, I don't. I just let somebody spit on the sidewalk. But that's me. That's my feeling. That's my heart, because that just passed.
So there's some fifth penny sales tax money and also some general fund money that the city and the county allow to go to the United Way for distribution to a series of nonprofits in our community. What do you think of that process?
I would need to know what the nonprofit organizations are first, which I do not know right now. We've got a lot of things in this city right now with having refugees that have come into our city, and they get vouchers, they get food stamps, they get LEAP to help with electric bills and everything, and they come in and they're hosted by a family, usually by a church family through one of the local churches here. And then after 1 year, after they stay here in Cheyenne 1 year, that voucher is still paid by the state of Wyoming, but they can go to Greeley, they can go to Denver. And, I don't think that's right when we have other people here that could be using that assistance.
The last issue, Rex, is the landfill expansion and the fact that it's going to be expanded at the Happy Jack location, and the city's using gradual 8% a year trash fee increases to pay for that. Do you support that? Where do you see that headed?
I don't support where it's going. I think it would maybe better be suited out by Belvoir and over there rather than the Happy Jack area, because that is a very beautiful area, scenic. And, I don't agree with what we're doing now, taking everything to Greeley and paying for that. That's, the number of trucks that are going down there. We do need a landfill, but not in that location.
Are there other issues that you'd like to address with us that we haven't covered in our questions?
Not at this moment. Everything, I like to say, next week my campaign will start rolling. I will be out and about, and I am going to be speaking to the public. Like I say, I've got these areas where I can have meet and greets, town hall meetings, even got a podium. This is going to be fun. This is going to be good. And, I've got my cousin coming from Florida to give me a little hand with this campaign. And he's already told me, well, Rex, you got a good looking face and everything, and let's cut that hair and shave that beard. Well, I'm a member of the Rocky Mountain Beard and Mustache Club, and I march with my brothers. And, when I ran for governor, I cleaned up. And when I ran for Senate, I cleaned up a little bit. And this time, the wild man's not going to clean up. I'm going to run like this. I know a lot of people in this town, and like I say, again, this is going to be fun. But, you're going to see my platform is going to progress and come out. So,
Well, thanks for being here today.
and I would like to say one other thing. I want to thank you very, very much for this and the way that you're handling the candidates and everything. I was running against 10 candidates, 9 others, and a 1 write-in. A gentleman is a write-in candidate. But now it seems I'm running against Channel 5. They had their little get together with 4 of us, not 4 of us, but 4 of the candidates. And they gave them time to get up and speak and share their thoughts and everything. And I called over there and said, well, what about the rest of us? And they go, oh no, these were the people that Cheyenne wanted to see. And Anthony Keith, I was talking to him, and I said, well, this isn't fair. I go, this isn't equitable. I go, why are you doing this? And he goes, well, it is fair. This is what the people want to see. And he goes, by the way, Rex, we're going to give you a one-on-one interview. And I go, yeah, you're going to give the other 6 a one-on-one interview, but you're still going to give the other 4 an interview too, right? And he goes, well, yeah, Rex, we've got to keep it fair. And I'm going to myself, what part of this conversation do you not understand? You give these people time to speak, and then we couldn't even go into it, the venue. It was only family. So what kind of debate is that? Seems to me that Channel 5 is just pushing for who they want. And I will have my one-on-one meeting with Mr. Keith, and I hate to say it, maybe they won't air it. I'll be cordial, but I'm going to be frank about it, because that's not the way you run a debate. You don't have tears and 10 people. He said, well, we didn't have room. I said, there's plenty of places where you could have gotten room to do this. And so I want to thank you on your behalf, the way you're handling things, because everybody's gotten their shot to speak and everything. Nobody's been left out in the cold. And that's good. That is good. That's good. We're not having no yellow journalism. Okay. So that is good. So,
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for being here.
okay. Thank you very much.